Liquify filter. Hi guys, the Liquify filter allows you to edit where you need to edit, remove where you need to remove, make something smaller or bigger. Let's get started. And now we're going to do virtual plastic surgery. Let's apply a Convert for Smart Filters option to our file. Done. And open the Liquify filter. On the left we have the toolbar and the settings on the right. The zoom and the hand are not even worth talking about. I think you obviously understand how they work. So by default there is usually an opacity of 50%. That's why I'll set it now too. And we take the first tool. This is the forward warp tool. It has the shape of a brush. At the top we see its settings, which allow us to do this brush smaller or bigger. For example, it is big, and now it is smaller. And there are also such settings as pressure, density and rate. Now we'll talk about them. Zoom in the girl. I do this by rotating the mouse wheel. Square brackets don't work for me during recording, but you can increase and decrease the size of the brush. Look, I hover the cursor over the girl's body and just move it up. And you can see how we can have a rather thin waist with a slight movement of the hand. Now it looks pretty sloppy for me. It's because of the settings. And right away I want to draw your attention to the fact that we see the silhouette of the body that was before. And it depends on the opacity. If we put it at 100, then we will not see the results of our actions at all. And if we set say to 0, then we will not see the boundaries of what was before. I click Restore All, and everything is restored. Well, let's make a small opacity to see what we are doing. I just gently move what I need to move. And look, if I for example set the density, well, I make it small, let's say 3, and try to do the same. Then I get such a sharp corner. And if I set to 100%, then I get such a smoother line. Thus, we can regulate the degree of exposure. The same goes for pressure. If the pressure is at its maximum, then we have such a strong change. And if you set a smaller pressure, it will take much more movements in order to make the same change. This way we can work more carefully. Well, for example, in this way we can make our girl more slender. So, I'm probably not going to do it like that. Depends on your taste. Let me do something wrong. You can take a reconstruct tool and paint over this place again, and everything will return to its previous state. I want to draw your attention to this point. The change in the background wasn't in fact visible to us. But for example, here in this place we have a rack moving at the same time. See what's going on? That is, even if I remove the opacity now, so that everything can be seen, has clearly changed. But it moved. In order to prevent this from happening, we can use a tool called Freeze Mask. And let's take a tool called Freeze Mask. And I just take it now and paint it over. Here I have red. I paint over things that shouldn't be distorted. So, paint over. Move with the help of the hand tool. Now let's return to the forward warp tool. And we begin to move it. Look, I'm changing the shape and so remains the same as it was. Well, I have some bumps here. It can be fixed with the help of settings. That is, it's all possible to pick up so neatly. Well, I'm not going to do it now. You'll excuse me, so that our lesson is not excessively long. So, after I have done everything, I take a tool called Toe Mask, which is located below, and just erase what I have frozen. As you can see, it didn't change. It remained the same as it was. It is very convenient to use the same option if, for example, you want to make the lower part of the face thinner face, and at the same time not to spoil the neck, or so that it doesn't affect the hairstyle in some way. In general, this is a very convenient thing. Another tool that we can use to work with a figure is called Push Left. So I take the Freeze Mask. So we freeze everything that we need to leave stationary. We take the Push Left tool. And we are working along the edge, like this. Look what is going on. And look, I'm just using it along the body, and the pixels are shifting. That is, I don't point the cursor inside, as it was before, but just move along the body. The girl is becoming more and more slender, and then it will be possible to use the Toe Mask. Look, she has already become more slender. The same can be done at the bottom. Let's see how much we have cleaned up. Look at this. I think that a lot of kilos have already been removed. Let's take the following tool for consideration. It is called Pucker. Let's make the brush bigger, and let's work in the stomach area. Look at how everything is being tinted up. I just point the cursor and just try to do it better, and just click. You can change the settings and make the figure more athletic. Of course, the retouching tools here will also help you a lot. Look at this. When working with the Pucker tool, everything tightens inwards. If we make a compression, then the forward warp tool squeezes inside, like that. The push left tool simply pushes away when you walk along the line. That is, if we are directing it inward, the same distortion doesn't occur as with the forward warp tool, and the Pucker tool kind of pulls everything inside. So, like that. We'll not do this. There is also a tool called Bloat. We'll now look at it in more detail on the example of portrait. It allows to make some parts of the body more voluminous. If you suddenly need it, well, you can for example increase the lips, or some other parts of the body. I think you can find a use for this tool easily. And I want to show you another way to work with these tools and with other plastic filter tools using an example of a portrait. So I press OK, and look, we have as always formed a mask. And the possibility of returning the plastic filter is also available. At any time, you can go back and change the settings somehow. And let's compare what we had. And that's what we got, although I didn't even try very hard. Let's move on to the portrait. As always, we choose Convert for Smart Filters. We'll go to the plastic filter. To begin with, I'll try to change the shape of the girl's face. I'll take the freeze mask now. I'll paint over so that it doesn't move. I'll freeze these parts here. Okay. Well, let it be like that. You can do it harder. So, let's take the forward warp tool. Let's increase the size of the brush. Slightly move the girl's face to the center, making it thinner. Like that. Let's not do it too much. Well, we'll make it a little thinner after all. After that, of course, we'll unfreeze. Toe mask. You can make the brush bigger, and it will be more convenient. Let's see what we had. Here we have just worked with opacity. As you can see, the face was a little different. Now, for example, we take the forward warp tool. Earlier, we made a high density, so that we get such a line. Well, that's all strong. And now we'll set a small density. We can lower the density a little and pull out in the corner of the eyes. That is, you can not only go inside, but you can also go outside. Look, I'm pulling the corners of my eyes. Well, you can make it smaller. I raise the corners of my eyes. I change the shape of the eyes a little. You can make them a little more open. You can pull out the eyelashes too, by the way. That's it. You can edit a smile. Look how lovely. And that's how you could adjust the image before Creative Cloud 2015 version of Photoshop. But now we have additional settings, which are called Face Aware Liquify. They work when the Face Select tool is active. Look, right away I have an auxiliary element. Let's say, go to the face shape. On the right we have the names of the parts of the face. I can raise or lower, for example, change the height of the chin, one way or another, change the chin line somehow, change the width of the face. Look at how the girl is changing. Then I can go, for example, to the eyes. And in the same way, here I can increase their size or decrease, change their height. You can change the width or the tilt of the eye. I won't even do it now, of course. Just remember that there is such a possibility. Similarly, we can make a smile. Look, beautiful. How easy it is. Well, return what we had. And look at what we got as a result. Well, if we want, we can still refine it manually. For example, take the Bloat tool and, for example, increase something. For some reason, the eye turned out to be smaller. Enlarge the eye or the lips, if you want. And we can reduce something with the help of the Pucker tool. For example, you can make the nose a little more elegant. Using the forward warp tool, you can, for example, raise your eyebrows. Well, in general, a lot of things can be done. And, for example, it is very convenient to increase the volume of hair or remove it with the push left tool. If I move up, I am increasing the volume. If I move down, I am reducing the volume of hair. On the other hand, on the contrary, if I move down, I increase, and if I move up, I reduce. By the way, there is also a twirl tool. It can help you change the texture of your hair. Look, I press and I get this twisting wave, going clockwise. The higher the speed indicator, the stronger the twisting. If you set it to the maximum, then such an active curve occurs right here. So, if you make it smaller, it will be like this. Or, I still have the speed. Then, on the contrary, there will be a very soft wriggle. And you can already do as you like. So, well, for example, I can edit waviness to my hair in this way. Well, it's not worth trying too hard, because after all, it worsens the quality of the picture. If you really overdo it, then the image can be of bad quality. If I hold down the Alt key, the rotation will be counterclockwise. Here, for example, on this side, I press the Alt key and create waves like this. The girl is practically turning into a doll. And if you need to create a doll-like appearance, then Liquify tool can be very useful. And of course, it can help you to remove excess body fat and build muscle in men's photo. If you want to make someone look like a bodybuilder, then this tool is perfect for you. By the way, now you see what happened. It was necessary to use free mask before working with hair in this area. By the way, I also want to tell you that if suddenly you need to separate some furry animal from the background and you need to somehow restore the texture of the wool, then this can also be done with Liquify filter tools. For example, with the forward warp tool, you can pull out some wool. Or for example, if it's an image of the girl, you can do something like that. So, look, you can pull out like this some hairs. Sometimes it is necessary to emphasize them, like that. If the density is smaller, then hairs will be thinner. And here we have got not very beautiful strand. Well, I don't have special moments in this hair right now, but in general, this can be done in this way. That is, it is possible to make it all very beautiful. Well, I think you have got it all already. Click OK, open Photoshop. Well, look what we had. And our result. I think you'll enjoy working with this filter. I think you'll enjoy this process even. And I am waiting for your work. The first homework assignment will be to make this girl slimmer. And the second homework is to work with the portrait of this girl. That's all for today. It was Peter Romanov and AIM School. See you next time.